We have our final guest of the week.
This ain't message, Jamie.
We're going to cap this with a
I've
friend.
been informed, clearly,
You can
before
see
I walked up
there's
here.
3 cameras, not 1.
Hey!
Oh, dude.
And there's no comment.
Multiple employees.
Look how many.
Yes.
In the flesh.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
This is a
Wonderful
superstar.
to see you guys.
Jamie Erdahl, no
That's very
stranger to
kind.
Boston,
Yep.
but now, of course, a big deal. Very big deal. With NFL Network, of course, every day. Good Morning Football. But this weekend, you're doing part of that 8.5-hour show. Are you on that? You're taking part in that at all?
No, let's take that plug off.
That's
there.
all right. We've been plugging the 8.5-hour show all week.
If I thought I didn't know what channel I was on. You don't have to say I'm on game day morning. Guys, I get my Super Bowl Sunday to myself. I get to watch it like a fan.
Wow.
I am taking my uncle, my mom's brother, who is from Philadelphia, to the game.
Oh, you're going to the game.
I'm going to the game,
Good.
and then Monday morning, God willing, I am going to show up on Good Morning Football from here live with Peter Schrager and Kyle Brandt. I hope that I had not slept. I want to tell all crazy stories about what I've done on Sunday night into Monday morning. We're going to knock out an episode of GMFB, and then I'm going to fly back to L.A., and then I'm going to spend the rest of the week talking about the game there.
Appreciate you guys put me on when I tweeted the show. You know, I watch every day. How was it working with Jason McCourty last year?
Life-changing.
He's a good dude.
Yeah,
Him and
he's
his brother, they got it figured out.
I love Devin. I love Jason more, and I would say that to Devin's face, and I'm okay with that.
Devin's more serious. Jason's cooler.
Devin's more serious, and this is no knock to Devin. Devin had an unbelievable career, years in New England, but Jason is just is so seasoned and hardened by what he went through in the NFL. To go to the Titans, to go to the Browns, and deal with what he did in Cleveland. Not win a game, go to Miami, go to New England. I mean, to go from a winless season to winning a Lombardi, one of the best stories, I think, in football. Jason McCourty is a champion and one of my closest friends, and it was great.
So there were so many great stories over the years of Patriots things when you win 6 Super Bowls. That one was maybe one that didn't get enough play, which was Jason joining Devin. And, I mean, I remember Devin bringing Jason to the team parties before Jason got to New England. I think we were in Houston for Super Bowl 51.
Yep.
And, the families come into town and the players have a party.
Kids were running around
Atlanta. I forget where we were.
We were
and it's like every year you'd see Jason there supporting his brother who was in the Super Bowl again, and then to come on over and win one with him. It was obviously a pretty special thing.
And it's a pity invite because he's I didn't make it, even didn't get to play in any playoff games. I totally agree with you because now the brother thing is very obvious now and it's drawn out with the Kelseys. But the original thing is the McCourtys, and that's where it's at, and I love them both.
Zoe still confuses them on the preseason broadcast.
I did. I still call one Jason and one Devin. It's like they still get me,
It's
man.
so obvious.
I know it's obvious now, but when you turn quickly and you're talking to them, and they're like, and I'm, because I'm trying to juggle more things when preseason.
Oh, the preseason!
Like, hey,
I
Devin.
forgot that. That was a great
Devin's
watch.
not answering me, and I'm like, hey, Devin.
Yeah.
It's Jason.
It's Jason. I know.
Dumbass.
Yep.
Like,
so are you rooting for Philly in this game for your uncle?
And my mom's from Philly.
Oh, your mom's from Philly, obviously.
Yeah,
your
she's
uncle.
the oldest of 5. I got aunts and uncles and cousins all up and down Philly. I lived in Philly for a little bit. I'm rooting for a close game and great television.
That's that wink and a nod. That's Philly.
I would like to be invited and welcomed to Kansas City if I ever have to show up there. So we're rooting for a close game.
You miss anything about New England?
I miss a lot about New England. I say my husband's from Minnesota, as am I. Everybody knows that. I say to people all the time, if someone said you have to live somewhere, can't be back home, where would you go? And I always say Boston. I loved Boston. I love the Charles River. I love the ocean. I love the Cape. I love everything about it. I love the fact that year I covered the Bruins, we drove in a car. I think Brick and Jack and I drove in a car to Montreal for a playoff game. I'm crossing the Canadian border with 2 men I didn't know a year ago.
That's when Jack did his big video outside of the Cap Bell Center.
Yes.
Or the shores of Gitchy Goomy. Or whatever, and he had that big, he probably rehearsed a car ride with you.
That's exactly right.
Oh, my God.
So we drove to Canada and back for the second round. They lost in the second round to the Habs that year. And I love New England. I love it so much.
Who did the driving on that?
We had that producer, Z, Brian Zaccello.
Okay.
He probably drove a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, Z crossed the border for us.
He did the drive. He did the driving
Big
for
Z.
you.
Big Z.
Yep.
Big Z did the driving.
Yeah.
Do you miss Capello at the Bruins games?
Absolutely. That's my meal buddy right there.
Oh, we used to eat. We used to watch the third period of the Bruins down below. She'd get a guest for Nesson. I would get one for us.
Yep. Actually, I would say
me and Jamie were.
what I would say to you
spent
is
a lot of time together.
because the long story short is they
She's fun.
put me in
She's
that
fun.
job I'm very grateful for the job. They say, you're from Minnesota, you'll be great. And I knew very little about hockey. I'm 10 years later, I can tell this story. But I was like, I think this is, I don't know, I'm not sure. I want a good job and I want a prominent job, but I was nervous that I was going to be,
Gotcha.
I played basketball in high school. Like, I'm a winter sport basketball person. So I was nervous that I learned so much from you. I would go in the third periods, I'd be like, well, who should I get? Because you'd always have to draft off me.
No, I don't, because Nesson had first choice, obviously.
Yeah.
So she's like, who should I get? Well, I said, well, and I would throw us under a bus. Because I'd be like,
but you were
Jamie, I'm
so
like,
great about
you should
it.
really get this guy.
I know.
I mean, and
Right.
so we would get, I could have been
second
like, oh, you should probably get somebody else.
Right.
And it would help us out, but I didn't do that.
No.
You're
Good
like,
guy.
you should get
That's
Andrew
why we're
Ferentz
still
again.
here.
Yeah. Ferentz is really good.
Exactly. Get Andrew Ferentz
While you're getting
again.
Bergeron.
That's exactly right. So I loved that job. I learned so much about hockey. I learned it was amazing. But
How many minutes are in a period?
20.
That's right.
Yes, because it's an hour. Everything's an hour. Yes, 20.
Everything's an hour.
Love the Bruins. And
You don't love them right now.
They're
I don't.
struggling right now. Yeah.
No, they're not very good.
Having an awful season.
They're having a bad year.
Patriots, didn't they change their? No, that was like Columbus. Somebody changed their coach a couple weeks in, or was that Boston?
Boston has changed their coach.
Yeah.
We changed it twice.
Several times since you've left.
Twice in a year.
Well,
Yeah.
I know that. I knew that.
Yeah, no, they did. They fired their coach this year.
Jeez.
Yep.
It was an awful. Yeah. All right. Well,
It's his fault.
I was there. My last Bruins event before I went to CBS was when Pasta got drafted. So that's like my big thing. It was like, go forth,
Wow.
David Pastrnak.
Wow, it's been how many years have you been doing Good Morning Football now?
This is my third season, the completion of my third season. 2 in New York and now the 1 in LA.
It's pretty good.
And I was 8 at CBS and 2 at Nesson. Am I allowed to?
That's right. You really.
Yeah, you're allowed to
8
say
at
all that.
CBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 in the NFL and 4 on college.
Wow, we're cool. We can say whatever we want here.
Oh.
There's not a
Yeah.
lot of rules here.
Oh no.
We make our own rules.
We can just do whatever we want.
Are you baiting me with
No, I'm
something?
not. I'm
Oh,
serious.
okay. I was like,
We don't act
This is
like
a setup.
that.
what's the next thing to
No,
say? Like,
there's nobody to
oh, am I allowed
offend
to say
here.
Nesson? Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
We don't care. We talk about Nesson all the time. Even though we're on NBC Sports Boston. I love NBC Sports Boston.
I love NBC Sports Boston. You guys were always very friendly in the scrums when I'm trying to elbow you to get Gronk sound or whatnot, back in the day.
Well, it's all paid off, hasn't it?
Don't read the bottom part of that
I'm
promo.
not reading it. I'm putting it
on
away
Monday
at this
morning.
point.
The bottom part of that promo is
we're
Jamie
promoed
is
out.
going to
We're
be
done.
a fan
Yeah.
in section whatever.
They can't even get you on for like 5 minutes.
I don't. They have enough people. I want to enjoy this game as a fan. I've never been to a Super Bowl like
You're in the
that.
upper deck?
Probably.
Yeah, you're up there. It's up there pretty high.
I don't care.
That's all right.
So you're going to just take it
See
all in as a fan. You've
Yeah.
never done that. I think. What time are you going to go?
Whenever they start
So it's
serving beer.
It's 5:30 local, right?
5:30 local. I don't know. So last time I was
my
here.
advice is go early.
Okay.
It's and
Because the president's coming, so the security.
security is typically
Yeah.
a lot,
Yeah.
and most people do take the advice of heading there early.
Mm-hmm.
And I would
Pre-game
just say
is
go
different
early. The time that
than any other pregame. You're going to have players coming out, checking it out, videoing things,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
talking to family.
Yeah.
The stadium will be open. They'll be playing all the videos from the year,
Oh,
like
cool.
the Eagles videos,
Great.
and then the Chiefs videos, and just the production pregame and just seeing everybody. It's cool.
They
I will
open those
be-
gates early for a
I will
reason.
be like a moth to a flame
Yeah.
in the sense that the flame being the shortest line at the beer concession, and I am the moth. So anywhere
Is
that
that
you
a
can
Seal
send
song?
me, that's
I'd be a moth to-
Seal was here.
He was right here.
What was that
I
about?
thought it was Bruce.
We've been trying to figure it out
We
for
asked
3
the
hours.
same question, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I looked it up, and he did a remake of "Fly Like an Eagle" for Space Jam.
You
Did
could
know
have been
that?
on this show. These are all the things we talk about.
Did you
We
talk about that?
Yes.
I didn't know
it was
that.
for Space Jam.
I was trying to
though.
make it was for Space Jam because I was trying not to date myself by being like, yeah, Seal, the original "Fly Like an Eagle" singer. I knew that wasn't right, and it was somebody
Steve Miller
Band. Thanks. Whew. I was nervous. Help me out.
There it is.
So good. But Seal was the last one I would have placed on Radio Row here on a Friday.
He's
before the Super Bowl.
apparently doing something with Mountain Dew. They have a commercial for Mountain Dew, and he's going to turn into a seal.
It's good.
It only took
Sounds fun.
30 years of not producing a hit to be reduced to the
Have you guys-
Super Bowl commercial
Mountain
in
Dew,
which your
yeah.
nickname becomes what you actually are.
Have you guys talked about the Patriots at all this week? Can I pick your brain?
Yeah.
Yes.
We had Drake on the show this week. Drake Maye came
Good.
on. I had not talked to him before. I had not interviewed him. I didn't cover any of his games in college.
Feel the energy?
I did,
Yeah.
and I wasn't expecting to.
He's got a to politely put, he's got a podunk sort of vibe to him.
Well,
it's polished podunk, and people gravitate to him.
It's the Tar Heel podunk.
Yeah,
is what it is.
He gets it, man.
Yeah, he called me ma'am on TV, and I asked him not to. Straight up.
Like,
please don't ever do that
yes,
again.
sir. And I'm like, we're not doing it.
We're not good. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for him. I like him now more. I just didn't know. I didn't know his work, if you will.
You got to get back. Got to get back to to this thing, but we got to be back to.
Are you happy about Vrabel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I like Mayo too.
Yeah.
But like, he wasn't ready. Mm-hmm. Wasn't ready. Michael, we need a little bit of a fist.
We talked about this on the show a lot this year. Just the occasional time that Gerard just kind of had a tough time in the media, so would say something, and then had to apologize the next day. And it just felt like after 3 or 4 times. Am I auditioning for the show right now?
You were talking about that on national television.
Yes, I was.
Oh, wow.
Why?
We were talking about it every week here, and I don't know. I've received a lot of complaints about Mayo, what I termed Mayo Culpa Mondays, when Mayo would be taking back whatever he said on Sunday. It happened over and over and over again. He kept stepping in it. That's a genius phrase.
Thank you.
First of all, and I was the only one that could speak to essentially what we're talking about, which is like the local coverage of what was probably happening. And I was like, listen, I was only there for 2 years, and I don't think I ever heard anybody apologize ever the day after anything in Foxborough.
Bill, you wouldn't get anything for nope.
Right. Well, for a lot of reasons, he probably wouldn't, and also he never said anything to apologize for. So I feel for him because I like Gerard Mayo too as a person, and everyone that came on our set, whether it be the McCourtys, like they were all so thrilled for him.
Of course they were.
It's a tough job in so many capacities that goes beyond physically coaching.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not even really a coaching job. Who was telling us this week? They said when you go from being coordinator to becoming a head coach. It was one of our guests. We've had so many, I'm losing track.
No.
Oh, God.
And said, you're putting out fires. You're not coaching anymore the way you were as a coordinator. You're dealing with all the employees of the team. You're dealing with issues between coaches on your staff. Like, there's just a lot of things that go into it that have nothing to do with Sunday and X's and O's.
Who was it? Was Anthony Lynn the head coach of the Chargers for a minute? Was that? I think that was right. Yes. This was years ago, Anthony Lynn. And I remember sitting in a production meeting with him. It was his first year. And I'm like, what's, the classic, what's the big difference? Now you're a head coach. And he goes, you realize that you poke your head out of the office and you look down the hall to see who the next responsibility is going to go to. Like, I don't want to answer that question. I need to, and you're the last office door. Like, you got to make the decision, and that's it. And if you can't handle that just yet, then it's a hard job.
Well, these are the last seconds of this show on Radio Row. We are saying
everybody.
Goodbye.
Guys, good job.
Listening. Great week. Great
way to finish.
Thanks to Jamie Erdahl for being here.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.